Okay, students, today we're going to do the last part of ABC, which is the composition topic, okay, which is also known in the English world as the thesis. So let's get out our packets and begin. As I was just saying, the last component of ABC, we know A stands for attention getter, B stands for bridge, and C stands for the composition's thesis. Now, if you raft your writing, okay, you can always just go look at the T in raft, and you know your composition's thesis, okay? And also, if you brainstorm using a circle map and the flow map, which are the boxes right now, the thesis is in the center of the circle map. And of course, your 3 points, because we're writing a traditional 5-paragraph essay, the 3 points are in the boxes beneath the circle map. So here are some things. It's of course the last component. It is the most vital part of an introduction. Assessor cannot grade your paper if you don't have a thesis statement. So if you do not, once again, have a thesis statement, a person doesn't have a road map. Think about if you were going on a trip. All right, your mom puts on the GPS now to get her where she wants to go. In order for her to know where she wants to go, she had to already have a destination in mind. So the thesis statement tells the reader the destination. And the 3 points basically tell them the stops along the way. All right. So point of the essay or the purpose of the writing, okay, is of course the thesis statement. And we have no purpose for our travel. Why go? So specifically, if you don't have a thesis statement, I won't be able to grade your essay. Standardized testing in academic essays, and you are writing an academic essay because you are in English class. Supplies the general topic. What that means is usually you are given a prompt. Like on standardized tests, they tell you exactly who the audience is, what your role is, what type of writing it is, and what the topic is going to be. So they provide you with raft. It's your job as a good writer to go into the prompt and find those elements inside of the prompt. For example, you all are writing about competition and you rafted it, so you know exactly those components are in a prompt. The only thing that you as a writer is doing is deciding on specifically what you want to write about the assigned topic so that you can discuss it in the essay. So let's continue. All right, so when you are composing the thesis, all you're really doing is connecting what's in the center of your circle map with the points and the boxes in a clear, concise sentence like I have right here. So I was pro-competition, but I can't just put pro-competition because that is not a sentence on. That's right, my good students. That is, of course, just a fragment, just a title. And we know that we cannot use titles as sentences. So I have to think of a nice way to formulate my idea. So I put competition as a positive aspect in schools because, now right there I'm going to stop. I'm going to look at what I have in my 3 boxes. Once again, sometimes I cannot write specifically what I have in my boxes because they don't flow with my sentence. So I have to think of a way to make them flow with my sentence and to, once again, a clear, concise sentence. All right? Remember the big C's in any writing paragraph is it clear? Is it captivating? And is it concise? So that's what we're trying to do. So in thinking about the big C's and what a thesis statement has to do, that's how I came up with this example. Competition is a positive aspect in schools because it fosters ingenuity, it builds character, and it improves social skills. Now you might not have the mature language like I do, but it'll come as you get older. Your vocabulary will get better and better if you work in it. That's why we're going to have out loud words this year. So it will compel you to get a better vocabulary. The more words you have in your verbal repertoire, and your verbal vocabulary, and your own personal vocabulary, the better you can express yourself during verbal conversations and as we're doing in writing. Okay, so here's my opening all together. Notice we color code our openings. Pink is the attention getter. So when the students are in their peer collaborations during peer review, the partner would underline this in pink to establish that this is the attention getter. So that's why it's pink, and this is brown. It's not showing up on the screen as brown, but it is because we underline our bridge in brown, and we underline our thesis statement in yellow because it is the money statement. Okay, it's where we are making it rain in our paper. So imagine a world devoid of the thrill of victory, no cheering when one makes it to the finish line, no thunderous applause, and medals at the Olympics when the athlete does the amazing and receives the inner triumph of a dream fulfilled. Moreover, there really would be no need for terms like the best, because competition usually identifies who is the best. The idea of being the best has motivated great human and personal triumphs, some of which have had a global impact on the world. Specifically, the competition between Apple and Samsung has led to major technological advances that have made life easier. Competition, therefore, is a positive aspect in schools because it fosters ingenuity, it builds character, and it improves social skills. Now notice, you see me incorporating transitions because that's what makes my writing flow. When I initially wrote this sentence, I did not have this transition, and right here to here, it just would be what English majors call choppy, not smooth. That's the whole purpose of transitions, to move you smoothly from one idea to the next. So sometimes when you are writing your introduction, it may not sound smooth, and a little thing like the transition is a big deal in helping that fluidity in your writing. Right? So at this point, we would need to stop and actually write our thesis statement so that we will have the ABCs, attention getter, bridge, and composition topic together in our essay. Right? Teachers, this is the point where you would pause and go around and monitor your students' progress, making sure that they are actually connecting the circle, the information from their circle maps to the boxes in a clear, concise, captivating sentence. You would also want to make sure they're not using those no phrases that we gave them in the packets, such as, in my opinion, I'm going to talk about those type of phrases that don't add anything to an essay because they're not saying anything. So once they do that, they would do another coherence and organization check, letting their shoulder partner or peer read their thesis to see whether they carried it out. Now, if you don't want that type of collaboration at this time, you could just have them do a coherency check after they write their thesis statement. And coherence check, in a sense, they should read their opening all together, like I did on this slide, to make sure we have those 3 big C's. Okay? So you can pause the video at this time to do that coherence and organization check. And we are now done with the opening paragraph, and that means we can move on to the body of the paragraph. Okay? The introduction, like I tell my students, is like skimming the surface of the water, puddle. And now we're about to go diving in the ocean with our body paragraphs. Okay? So you can pause the video at this time. Okay, at this point we are now ready to move on from the introduction, and it's time for elaboration. And to learn elaboration in our writing, we are going to P on it. We're going to P everywhere. And the acronym P means we're going to talk about our points that we have in our thesis in the same order. We're going to explain personally what we mean in our point. We're going to provide an example. Now, for our first essay, we know that we are not using text information because the focus is on proper structure. So we're going to use personal stories to illustrate our explanations to our points. And then we're going to come back and explain how the example actually proves the point. Because good writers show how the information, the example, is relevant. Relevant means, why is it there? What is it doing? And then we're going to exit our paragraph, okay? Because we know that we have to have a closing sentence. Some of you all were taught to call it a bow tie or a clincher statement, but it's all the same. We're going to say exit, so that all we got to do is remember P on it, okay? Notice the colors up here. Like I said, at our school, we do color coding to assist in peer editing. So the colors that you see right here is how they would color code the essay. Okay, so for even more scaffolding, I like to do a lot of scaffolding when my students are writing. Some students need it, some students don't, but it's efficient either way and helping everybody stay on track. So what I have them do is write their topic sentences out, because if they have the 3 boxes, they should know that those are connected, that the information in the boxes are actually the topic sentences, okay? So once again, the information in the boxes is actually the topic sentences. That's what connection we want to make. So a topic sentence tells the reader what the specific paragraph will be discussing. I notice for some reason students have a disconnect. They don't realize that the information that is in the boxes, the information in the thesis statement, the 3 points that they connected to the major topic, that is the information for the topic sentences. So we're stressing that at this point in the writing process. That's why right here you have already written the topic sentences for each paragraph when you wrote the thesis statement. So winning is already there. All you now have to do is put the information in a sentence, which you already have. It's in the thesis. You could actually pull down that sentence. It will be very basic, but some people need this type of scaffolding, and then they'll be able to move on and, of course, write those varied sentence structures that English teachers love. But right now, you would want them to use that sentence if they have to for scaffolding. So we will say a topic sentence should be preceded by a transition or a transition that can be embedded. Okay? Embedded transitions, I don't really do right now unless I can see that a student is really a very advanced student. I basically teach them to proceed the sentence with a transition just in case they need that scaffolding. And here's an example of what we're talking about. Notice the transition is right here. It's in orange because that is the color coding that goes along with it. Reading is my favorite hobby because it is inexpensive. Notice this is the thesis statement. So they can see what I mean. I took this part, brought it down, and attached my first point to it. That's what we're talking about when we say that you have already written a sentence for your topic sentences. Okay? So we're going to continue on with this particular example.